at Bridge of Allan, and just to get your bearings, that's Stirling Castle, and over there is the Wallace Monument. Now I'm going to be visiting 4 very different gardens, but all of them have one thing in common.
I'm Sheila Earth.
And I'm Murray Earth.
And my favourite part of the garden now is underneath the mature trees where we have dappled shade, which was something we didn't have when we moved in.
So you really enjoy the shade?
Love the shade, yes.
And you've got that lovely prunus, haven't you?
Yes, that's my favourite.
What about you, Murray?
Well, the garden's been a lot of work. It's 2.5 acres, quite a daunting size, and we really have worked away at it over the years. It's taken a long time. But we're lucky, the soil is good, the slope is good, the aspect's good, and we can grow rhododendrons, magnolias, hostas, you name it, we can grow them.
I'm Sylvie Broomfield. I'm the assistant gardener here. Garth, my husband, is the one who has all the ideas and designs the garden, and I just help him to put it into practice. My favourite bit is the Japanese bit over there. It's very peaceful. I love the aces. We have a lot of water features in the garden as well, and the sound of the water is very, very nice to sit by.
And you've continued the aces in the rest of the garden. They are absolutely beautiful, but a little area that I really like is the fernery.
Yes, it's a north-facing bit and doesn't get very much light, so it's quite a problem, but the ferns do very well there.
And you've also managed to discreetly hide the vegetable garden.
Yes, we're more or less self-sufficient in vegetables right through the winter.
I'm Rosemary Leckie, and I'm a beginner gardener. I've become interested in gardening over the last 3 years, and I'm really enjoying replanting a lot of my garden.
So would it be fair to say you are a bit of a novice?
Absolutely.
But what do you enjoy about gardening?
I very much enjoy the physical side of it, but also I love colour.
What sort of colours do you like then?
As you can see from the garden, most of my colours are blues and greens and pinks and purples.
Well, the purple, I mean, I have to remark, Rosemary, about the wisteria because it's stunning at the moment, and the perfume is amazing.
It's absolutely beautiful. It's been in the garden for about 4.5 years, and this is by far the best year ever.
We've come up the hill behind Bridge of Allan to the home of Anne and Malcolm Shaw, and they're both responsible for the garden.
What I like about the garden is that every time I walk around it, it's different because we've designed it in such a way that it's outdoor rooms. So each area has got its own different features, from lawns to sculpture to wild parts, and we've deliberately kept bits wild so we can enjoy the contrast between the two. And also we have the sort of Chinese section, little Japanese section as well.
We're sitting in my favourite part of the garden. I can remember when this was a fairly narrow tarmac path, and this part I've created largely myself from the Tai Chi this end to the mock dolerite pond at that end. In the afternoon the sun comes around the corner, I can lock the front door, I can come round here, ignore the telephone, and it's just so peaceful.
And what all these gardens have in common is that they all open to the public under Scotland's garden scheme, which this year is 75 years old. You may remember back in April I visited Stobo Water Garden near Peebles, and I went there because it's been open for every one of those 75 years. In contrast, these gardens at Bridge of Allan opened for the first time last month.
We've been thinking of opening the garden under the garden scheme for a number of years, but ours is quite a small garden. It's not really big enough, and it's very specialised, so we didn't think that there was enough here for an afternoon just here. But 3 other gardens opened as well, and they're very different, and it gives people a much better experience, whatever their interests are.
First of all, I think involve your friends. Secondly, involve, if possible, the local church who will provide the catering, hopefully. Thirdly, we had a minibus which chauffeured people around to all the different gardens.
I think my main concern was that I'm not very knowledgeable about plants. But on the day, it all worked out very nicely. Everybody was very complimentary.
On the open day, we had more than 200 people. They came from all over. We raised something like £1,100, and 40% of that will go to Strathgarden Hospice.